Dax Hill, rookie safety, actually rookie defensive back. He's going to play more than safety. He's going to be all over the football field potentially for the mad scientist, Lou Anarumo, as he's in his lab creating a formula. We are in the trenches. It is brought to you by First Star Logistics. Dax Hill is our guest. He's excited. He's excited about his first NFL start against the Pittsburgh Steelers, big division opponent, home division game, tiebreaker situation. Shows up in week one. All these years, 105 times they've met, never to open a season. Dax Hill is excited. Fans are excited. He's ready to play. Let's kick it off. Welcome once again to In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. Special guest today, rookie safety. Well, I'm going to say rookie defensive back because he's safeties, could play slot. Who knows? He could be here, there, everywhere, so beware. But that is Dax Hill, and pretty excited about what Dax Hill brings to the table. And first of all, thank you for doing this. I know it's a day off. For you to carve time for us during this day off is big, and appreciate it very much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me on again.
So, rookie year, here it comes. NFL opener. You know, you've obviously gotten through the preseason. At what point during the preseason is like, yeah, this is just football. I belong. Everything's good. Was that right away? Did you feel real comfortable right away, Dax?
Yeah, I would say that was right away. Like you said, I felt very comfortable the first game. Everything seemed normal. You know, during the preseason game, you're not really going to get the full flow of a real game. But I felt like I adjusted really well, you know, competing with, you know, those guys, you know, on my team and, you know, the people on other teams as well. They're pretty good players as well. So I feel like I did well for my first NFL games.
What about the speed of the game? I mean, you played, you know, high level of college football. There's no question about that. Was the speed of the game an adjustment at all, or were you pretty good with it because of what you did in college?
I think it was normal flow. I didn't think there was a huge difference. From my perspective, I feel like it wasn't too much I had to get ready for. And while I was on the field, I didn't feel like flustered or anything like that. So I feel good and, you know, composed.
The one thing about you is it's eye popping. I mean, your ability, once you see it and you feel comfortable about it and you react and you go, man, you can get it in high gear as quick or more quickly than anybody I've seen, man. You can close. Your closing speed is phenomenal. Has that always been one of your biggest assets?
Yeah, I feel like whenever I'm out in the field, my natural instincts come in. You know, God-given ability, and then, you know, knowing where I'm supposed to be at a certain play and, you know, trying to make a good play for my teammates. I think that's where it comes from.
You know, I remember my rookie experience was a preseason game. Yeah, you know, okay, I can adjust. And then regular season is a little bit more from a tempo standpoint with players. And then postseason, it gets ratcheted up even a little bit more. But I mean, you've experienced all that kind of thing at the collegiate level, at that high level. Do you think that is a formula for success for young players coming to the National Football League, playing at collegiately at such a high level?
I feel like, you know, it just depends on who you are. For me, I just feel like, you know, coming off a good college, you know, season, that's kind of in the past for me. You know, I just want to set a new foundation for myself, you know, knowing what I did in the past, you know, just resetting and knowing what I can do, you know, just, you know, not really focus on what I did in college, but, you know, just pay attention to what you know, I can do now and, you know, keep getting better from that. So I just want to, you know, paint a whole new picture, you know, for myself now that I'm in the NFL.
Everybody, teammates, coaches, everybody talks about your football IQ, how intelligent a football player you are. How much more sophisticated is what Lou Anarumo is doing as opposed to what you did at Michigan? Was Michigan, did that test you a little bit, your football intelligence?
Yeah, I felt like that kind of formulated it for me. I didn't really have, you know, that experience or that type of, you know, IQ. I would say, you know, my first 2 years, just because of I didn't wasn't in this type of defense. So I feel like last year kind of just, set the platform for me going into a defense like this. So I feel like, as I'm continuing to play in a similar style defense, I feel like I can just keep building off, my IQ. So I wouldn't say I'm, where I want to be football IQ wise, but I feel like I can, keep getting there, as I keep progressing.
It looks like the dynamic between yourself, Jesse Bates, Von Bell, it's outstanding, and you guys seem to have great relationships. I don't think that any team in the NFL can claim a better trio of safeties than you three guys. I mean, what how do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like we can definitely wreak some havoc. I mean, just with us, and then as well as the rest of the defense.
Yep.
I feel like this defense we have this year is definitely coming off a strong year. I feel like we can really hasn't. I feel like we haven't reached our limit, and so I feel like we can still prove to the teams that we're facing, to the NFL that we are a great defense, and as well as the other guys in the secondary for sure. The corners, the nickels definitely all play a part of this defense. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be very interesting to watch because I mean, doesn't hesitate to play five, six defensive backs, three safeties, two corners, three safeties, three corners, whatever the case may be. He's going to mix and match and do all kinds of things. And I'm sure he's talked to you about, his expectations in terms of what your involvement might be. And it's going to be probably multiple. I mean, you're going to be doing quite a few things for this defensive football team, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, right now that's not crystal clear for me, but I'm just taking a day at a time. Whatever they tell me I'm gonna do, that's what I'm gonna be doing at the best of my ability. And so, yeah, for now, now that everyone's back, really just finding what I can do best, and throughout the season, move me around, however that may be. Can't really foretell the future, but uh, yeah, definitely whatever they tell me to do, I'm doing it. So. Yeah.
So the Buckeyes and Wolverines, huge college football rivalry. No question about it. I mean, it's probably as good as there is in college football. And you experienced that. Your very first NFL game is going to be Bengals Steelers. And they've
Mhm.
played 105 times. This will be 106th meeting between these two times. The Bengals have not played another NFL football team more times than they played the Pittsburgh Steelers. But ironically, they've never had a season opener against the Pittsburgh Steelers in
Mm.
Cincinnati. So it's an interesting matchup. Huge implications. Division rival, home division game. It's big stuff. Are you excited?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I would say not a lot at stake, but at the same time, there is just because of, now, playing them for the 106th time, there's, competitiveness, who's better than the other team, definitely some trash talking going to go on. So I'm looking forward to it. Just excited, for the, first NFL real experience. So, I'm, excited for, the the game, and definitely leading up to the game, it definitely gets me pumped up. Now that this is officially the first week, it's a different vibe in the locker room, and really just the preparation leading up to the game is definitely a little bit more different, as opposed to these last few weeks. So I'm looking forward to it. Exciting game, and yeah, for sure we got to come out with the dub this game.
So you're already feeling like more of a laser focus, more of an intensity because hey, the curtains being drawn open here to start this thing off, and it's against a quality opponent, to say the least. So you can already feel the excitement starting to bubble.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, knowing that Pittsburgh, I mean, definitely we can definitely take advantage, I would say, of them just because of they don't really have Ben now, and they definitely have good players, and we feel like we have good players now, so it's too as well. So it's just going out there showing what we've been preparing for these last few months, throughout the whole off season, and to this day, it's been long anticipated for a while now. So in the defensive meeting room, we have this guy that always kind of just counts down the days, the specific amount of hours and whatnot. So it's definitely like a, time to get things rolling and, see a different, opponent and, just see, hit, see people, different people now. So it's just, a different type of intensity now.
So, do you regret not having one game against Ben Roethlisberger before you retired? You came very close to playing against Ben Roethlisberger. I'm sure you watched him a ton. Would you have liked to play against him?
I mean, I'm looking forward to playing with everyone, but yeah,
Right.
for sure, Ben. I mean, just because of you're watching film from last year and seeing that he was out there and now he's not, so it's kind of just who we're gonna get and but yeah, for sure. I mean, he's a good quarterback, one of the greatest quarterbacks that that ever played in the NFL. So it's just you know uh, now that he's not there, you definitely can pay more attention to the guys who are going to be playing. So it's just but yeah, that's just how it happened. They end up playing against them, but for sure, like a great quarterback.
Yeah, he was unique and special to
Mhm.
say the least. During the course of the preseason, could you feel improvement on a week to week basis during the games? I mean, do you feel like it became even more crystal clear to you what you needed to do, how you needed to do it, where you needed to be, how you needed to get there, all those kind of things?
Yeah, I would say so. But there's a lot of similarities. I would say just because I was doing the same things for the most part, just seeing a different opponent, and seeing how different offenses you know. Create different plays for different players. So, but yeah, I mean, preseason was definitely just a nice prelude for me, going into my season, and so I'm excited for the season, my season, as well as the team season. I feel like we have a good chance this year, a great chance of going back to the Super Bowl just because of how well we've been practicing and just the culture around the locker room as well.
This Pittsburgh Steeler Cincinnati Bengal rivalry, it's very physical. You've played in very physical football games. It's like put on your big boy pads, maybe
Mhm.
double chin strap. Tighten those two chin straps up. Is
Yeah.
that right up your alley? Is that the way you want to play football? You're a physical guy in that back end, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, whenever I'm on the field, everything just kind of just kicks in. Everything that I've been working for to this point, it will definitely, definitely be shown, in every game. Not just this game. So I'm just, looking forward to it. Always been that type of guy, just to, make plays and have fun. I don't want to just be half in. I just want to be, tuned into the game, throughout the whole time and, just have fun.
I know that you haven't had game plan installed totally yet because we're early in the week here in preparation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You might have already worked on some early first, second down stuff or whatever, but situational football, third down, red zone, goal line, all that stuff that hasn't all been introduced to you yet. But that game plan's coming, um, and it's against the Pittsburgh Steelers. First and foremost, I would think with the new quarterback you don't exactly know what they're going to do. And there's always, oh man, the opener, they could try something that we haven't game planned for or against. It's just basically applying your rules, right? I mean, you guys have defensive rules for everything. It's just making sure you apply them properly. Isn't that pretty much what it is in the opener?
Yeah, and I mean, for sure, definitely preseason, we kind of are looking at film and different types of film, different type of tendencies, throughout the preseason, and then last year, things that kind of show up, recurring things, we kind of hone in on. So that's kind of just the film preparation going to a game like this. First preseason, first regular season game, you don't see, you haven't had a few games under your belt to see what they usually do. So it's just what they've done before and just picking up on those tendencies.
They have a pretty good tight end, Fryermuth. He had, I think it was 60 catches, 7 or 8 touchdowns, something like that last year. I mean, he put up some pretty decent numbers for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What does he look like to you on tape?
He's a good player. I remember him from Penn State, so he's
Yeah.
definitely a guy that I've been game planning about, and definitely. I mean, they have pretty good tight ends, a good tight end room. So each one of those tight ends we're looking forward to, and definitely trying to play our best game against those guys.
Is he doing anything differently? Have the Steelers added to his repertoire? Are they utilizing him a lot differently than Penn State did, or is it pretty similar in your eyes?
Um, Pretty similar. I mean, for sure, have him in there just to, not just to catch, but can block as well. So
Right.
those tight ends can do a little bit of everything.
I know the conference you came from is physical, and teams like to run the football. Bottom line is, football's football. Who's going to be able to run the ball? Who's going to be able to stop the run? And it kind of starts from there, doesn't it? That's a big factor in this football game.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, for sure. They have a good running back room, so definitely start out with some good runs, see how that goes, and always stopping the run. That's something you want as a defense. You just don't want to get gashed for like 100, 200 yards a game just for off rushing. So you kind of want to eliminate that first, and then the secondary do their thing and stop the pass. So I feel like it's a collective effort, for each game.
Mitchell Trubisky, he can run around a little bit. I don't know if they're going to have much of a design quarterback run package as such, but he's a guy that can get out of pocket and create and extend and buy more time. The
Mhm.
big key is going to be containing that dude pretty much.
Yeah, I feel like I have an immense trust for like our D lineman. I feel like our D lineman is one of the best D lineman rooms in the NFL, so I feel like that won't be an issue. I feel like definitely to collapse the pocket, making it easier for us, on the back end. So, and I feel like everyone on the defense will be flying around, making sure everyone is doing their jobs and just stopping them early. Don't want them to start off fast. So I feel like we'll just nip that in the bud pretty early. So just all it is really just effort, and I feel like our defense has that. So
I think one of the reasons Trubisky was named the starter is he pretty good at taking care of the football. And here's a trivia deal on him. Mitchell Trubisky. He's one of 200 quarterbacks that have played 50 or more games in his NFL career in the last 70 years. He's the only guy that hasn't thrown a pick six in his NFL career out of those 200 quarterbacks that have played in 50 games, over the last 70 years. It's over. It's time. I can see Dax Hill, pick six on Mitchell Trubisky, man.
oh yeah.
How big would that be?
I mean, shoot, that'll be good to stop that record he has or whatever. So just break that up, and yeah, I mean, that sounds very exciting. I mean, definitely with one, INT today. We're actually talking about in the DB room who's going to get the first INT. So that's something we've talked about, and I'm excited for. Hopefully, that comes to life. So we'll see.
All Bengal fans know Von Bell, he gets up at the crack of dawn. He's in the weight room, working out early. He's everything with him is about preparation. What's it like to have Von Bell, Jesse Bates, those kind of guys to kind of lean on as you're trying to learn what it takes to be successful in the National Football League?
Yeah, I mean, I've picked up from those guys really just having a good work ethic, not just doing the bare minimum. I feel like those guys go beyond their limits sometimes. So it's good to actually see that and have that in the secondary, and definitely feeds off me to where I want to eventually get to sooner rather than later. So really just building that work ethic as time progresses, and I feel like that's contagious, throughout, the room, and really just having a different type of mindset in terms of wanting to, you know, be a great football player at this level.
You mentioned how there's like a friendly competition amongst the defensive backs about who's going to get the first interception, who might force the first fumble, who might do the first this, first that. That's always big. I mean, do you guys? I know, I played in the offensive line when we'd have. All right, well, man, if you get called for this penalty, you have to kick in a couple of bucks for this and whatever. If you made a mistake or assignment error, and then at the end, everybody would go out and have dinner off that money, that was
Yeah.
accumulated during the course of the year. That's good stuff. That builds camaraderie, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, friendly competition, like you said, and it gets everyone, pumped up, and pushes people a little bit better. Pushes, to our I mean, it just pushes us in general. Like, knowing that he wants an interception, hey, I can one up you and get 2 or 3. So it's just, building those friendly competitions and, having fun. I feel like it just comes down to just having fun and winning a little bit more extra money. So that's all it really is. And, just, getting each other better at the end of the day.
My understanding is that this could be the biggest crowd ever at Paycor Stadium. Of course, Paycor Stadium was just recently named, but I'm talking about when it was Paul Brown Stadium before that.
Mhm.
It's going to be rocking. I mean, it's sold out, and there's waiting lists for season tickets. But you're used to that playing up at
Mhm.
Michigan. I mean, over 100,000 people, well over 100,000 every home game. But
Mhm.
it could be rocking. How big an advantage, you know, people say, that's overrated. I'm telling you, man, when that adrenaline starts pumping, when the crowd gets you rolling, that's a big edge, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Knowing that the crowd is on your side, and then all the momentum is going to be on your side once you get the crowd into it. So I feel like, I mean, having a good season opener for sure is, I feel like it's a good starting point to a season. Definitely, we're the ones that has to do the work, but knowing that the fans are supportive and want to come out and support is definitely something you would need to a good, start to your season.
And a guy, Mitch Trubisky, he's been in the league, I think this is his 6th year or something like that. So he's been around for a little bit, but a quarterback gets unsettled when he can't hear himself think. I mean, it's so loud, hard to communicate. Man, you got to use hand signals. There's a greater margin for mental mistakes because those lines of communication become tough to handle. So there's
Right.
nothing better than having a home crowd that's in a frenzy, and you can notice that opponent back on their heels a little bit, right?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, any type of way we can get them, out of their game, out of their rhythm, is definitely a testament to our fans and the type of team we are. So, no matter what it is, I mean, as long as we can fluster the offenses or fluster their offense and defense and special teams, anyway, I feel like that'll be good for us.
I know turnovers are always a big decider in every football game, but what other things might you be looking at keys to success against the Pittsburgh Steelers? What might you be thinking?
Really just being perfect on every play. I tell myself I want to be perfect whenever I'm out there. So each play, just do my assignment the best way I can and communicate at the best level I can, and just keep learning. I feel like that's my first game. There's gonna be mistakes made, hopefully not, but you know that happens. It's the first NFL game. So I'm just looking forward to it in terms of just showing my skills and capabilities and just learning from that as well.
That's one thing I've noticed about this defense, Dax, is that there's no such thing as over communication. And man,
Mhm.
there's a lot of communication going on, not just at a position level, but like from the back end to the linebackers deal. I mean, it's like it's flowing, man. The communication is huge. That's a good sign. I mean, Lou Anarumo's got to like that, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, in the defense, definitely need communication, like you said, on all three levels. So, and I feel like that transcends a defense as well. Just communicating, definitely can eliminate a lot more errors when it comes down. Then when it comes down to just talking throughout the play, pre-snap and post-snap. So that's very important.
So, how many people you got coming to the game? How many tickets did Dax Hill have to get for this NFL first game of his career?
I'm still trying to figure it out. I know I have a few coaches coming up, and then got some of my family coming up. So
Really?
I'm still trying to figure out the number on that. So that's gonna be a pricey one this week.
I know it's crazy, isn't it? And
Mhm.
everybody's going to be watching. And what's it like? I mean, I know every guy that played in the NFL dreamed about doing it as a kid. You're no exception to that rule. I remember what it was like my first NFL regular season game, how important it was because man, I was actually living that dream. It wasn't a dream anymore; it was reality. Is that
Mhm.
starting to kick in for you a little bit, or where are you there?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, the preseason kind of kicked it off for me. Reality is
Yeah.
like I'm really just, in an NFL team, in an NFL stadium, playing for one of the best teams, the best team in NFL. So it's just that was kind of the awakening I had, in preseason. So I'm just, looking forward to, keep living out that reality or that dream. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've made a huge impression on fans, teammates, coaches, the Bengals community, which is not just the city of Cincinnati, but man, it's nationwide now. Bengal fans are everywhere, and
Mhm.
everybody's excited about you.
Uh,
So good luck in that first NFL game. I know there's many more to come. You're going to be around for a long time. You're going to have a great career. Let's get started the right way with a big dub against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh yeah, for sure. I appreciate it, and I'm excited for it, and I'm excited for the Bengals nation, the Bengal fan base, and I'm excited for the season.
Dax, can't thank you enough for spending time on your day off. You're the best. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Breaks? What are those?
That's what I'm talking about, Icky. Get the body right, then the mind's right. You know,
Gotta get that body right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out firststarlogistics.com.